So anyways, fun stuff.
Fun stuff.
I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but another one was just harnesses and retractable leashes don't add up. I'm just going to skip that one. Just a good rule of thumb. If you want to use a harness, use it with a regular leash. 6 foot, set distance leash, nylon, leather, doesn't matter. I don't think you should be using a harness for the most part anyways, but if you want to, go ahead. Just use it with a regular leash. Retractable leashes. Not the worst thing, not the best thing. Can be really helpful for a trained dog on a potty break. Terrible for reactive dogs, things like that. Generally speaking, don't recommend them, but they're not the worst thing. Mm-hmm. But you shouldn't add the two together. Not a great thing.
There's a time and a place.
Time and a place.
For retractables.
Yeah. The next one, I've had a bunch of people with puppies this week ask me this, my opinion on crate training. Okay. So I'm not going to talk about how to crate train a dog because we've done a really in-depth episode on that. And if you're interested in that, I'd say go back to that.
Crate training 101.
Yeah. But the question, should you use a crate? What do you think about a crate? What do you think about crate training? Things like that. I mean, that's come up a bunch this week. So I was like, hey, let's just answer that. Mm-hmm. I think I have the simplest explanation of all trainers because a lot of trainers use a crate much more than I do. I think they're helpful. They have a time and a place. I don't use them as much. A lot of trainers will be like, you're out for potty, you're out for training, and then you're in the crate. That's like, what life is that? That sucks. Nobody wants to do that to their dog and just make their dog like be in the crate all the time. So I think crates are helpful for two main times. When you can't watch the dog and when you don't want to watch the dog. Can't watch the dog would be, I'm asleep overnight. I've got to go to work. Mm-hmm. I've got kids that I got to bathe and dinner to make, and I can't watch the dog. I've got to put the dog up. Mm-hmm. Also helpful when you don't want to watch the dog. I was just meeting with a stay-at-home mom right before this, and she's like, I'm dealing with kids and stuff, this and that or whatever. I'm like, sometimes you just don't want to watch and make sure your puppy's not sneaking around to go potty on the floor. Sometimes you just want to like, after you put the kids down, you just want to like sit and watch TV for a few minutes and like not think about anything or scroll Facebook or whatever it is. So if you can't or don't want to watch the dog, very helpful for that. Why you should use a crate? If your dog is, well, one, if you can't watch the dog or don't want to, that's number one. The follow-up reason would be if your dog potties in the house, very helpful with potty training. Typically, dogs don't like peeing and pooping in their crate. There are exceptions, but for the most part, dogs don't like peeing and pooping in their crate. So if they're pottying on your floor and you're potty training, very helpful for that. The second one is if you can't watch the dog or don't want to, and they eat your stuff when you can't or don't want to watch the dog. And they're eating your stuff. By that, I mean shoes, furniture, cushions, beds, blankets, kids' toys, things like that. Mm-hmm. So if they're potting your house or they're chewing your stuff up, you should probably use a crate. Or if you just don't want to watch the dog or you can't, you should use a crate. That's my answer.
Yeah. I still use a crate for Saul.
I don't think there's a reason for it, though.
You should think I can start leaving him out?
Probably.
Okay. I'll give it a go. See, he doesn't mind it. He likes his crate.
I'm not saying you can't use one. I'm just saying, like, this is like when you should use a crate. I'm not saying you shouldn't ever not use a crate. I mean, you could crate your dog your whole life, if overnight or when you're gone his whole life. I don't think there's a problem with that either. A lot of the times when people are asking about this question, though, it's because they don't want to crate the dog.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I don't think Sully would tear anything up, though, if you left him out. I don't think he'd get into anything, and I don't think he'd tear anything up. I think you would just go sleep on the couch till you got home. And then he'd greet you at the door, very excited you're home.
Yeah, I'll give it a try. I just know he's been destructive when he was a little younger.
Right. But he's also a mature dog. He's over 2 now.
Yeah.
This is another, how long do I have to use the crate? Typically, my range, I'd say when your dog is like mature enough to start trying to leave them out, 18 to 24 months. There are some exceptions to this where you could get a dog and they never tear anything up. They never potty in your house. But for the most part, dogs are going to pee and poop in your house. They're also going to tear your stuff up. So generally speaking, 18 to 24 months is like when I say you don't have to use the crate. Or you could try starting to leave your dog out. Anyways, that's my answer to should you use a crate. Anything else you want to add to that?
No, I'm going to start leaving Sully out of the crate and trust him.
Hope it works.
But I'm not going to leave the bedroom door open. I'm not tempting fate.
I pulled an old I was looking at like old segment ideas I had or whatnot, and had a dog. I had like dog FML stories, like just funny stories of people's dogs like doing crazy stuff. Anyways, I found a good one on Reddit. I don't think I've read this before. And it says, "My German Shepherd." The title of it's "My German Shepherd decided to roll in something dead." FML. It says, I have no clue what she got into. I've scouted the backyard for clues to no avail. Coincidentally, my wife unclogged hair out of a drain this morning, so for the first few hours, we thought it was the drain. Right after cleaning out the drain, a foul smell still permeated through the house. We looked, cleaned, sniffed high and low, trying to find out what happened. It wasn't until I'd given up and went to my office to get to work that the dog stopped by for some pets. I put my hand down on her, and her neck is all crusty. The smell fills the air, and it was immediately clear to me what the source was. I smell my hand and almost vomit. After an emergency bath, she still stinks. I can smell it on my hand. I think there's an urgent grooming call that's going to be made very soon. I thought that was funny. The mystery smells.
Yeah.
The mystery sniffs. There's no telling. There's literally no telling.
No.
What the dog got into.
Ugh.
Dude, dogs will roll in some nasty stuff, though.
Yeah.
They'll roll in some nasty stuff.
I'm telling you, Sully rolls over that freaking turtle every
Sully
day.
always stinks, unless it's like right after a bath.